You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Thank you so much for checking out the show, but hopefully this show finds you in good spirits again, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got a little bit of a little show for you guys. And you know, of course, some people have been emailing me a whole bunch of stuff, and I do appreciate everybody sending me everything. This caught my eye, and of course, I wanted to bring some awareness to it, especially people in the Oregon area. So this is not going to be a super long show, but we're just going to go through some of the stuff that we're starting to learn and hear about when it comes to this situation. We haven't really discussed or talked about any missing person cases in a while. We still do, but this one just caught my eye and felt like I should bring this up and talk about it with y'all. Okay, so if you guys can do me a favor, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Don't forget, if you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please hit that follow button. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel if you're watching on the tubes. Okay, go to my secondary channel, which, you know, there's been a lot of content over there called The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed over there as well. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell for both platforms. You know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. All right. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And of course, do not forget to check out PascalMerch.com. Okay. That'll be greatly appreciated. Support the show if you can. There's many ways you can do it. Okay. All right, guys, we got to get straight into this. Like I said, it's not going to be a super long show. But of course, I just wanted to bring awareness to this case and to this situation. And it involves a little boy by the name of Dane Paulsen. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, his last name correctly. But from my understanding, it is Dane Paulsen. He is only 2 years old, and he's been missing since the 1st of March. Now, let's remember, first 24 hours are crucial, are always crucial, right? But now we're in the 48-hour mark, pretty much. And this young boy has not been found anywhere. Now, he was last seen playing in his family's yard in the middle of the day, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, he disappears. In broad daylight, guys. Midday, broad daylight. It's very weird. It's very odd. But this 2-year-old boy by the name of Dane Paulsen is nowhere to be found. There have been very few leads that they've been looking at. And the police are still saying that they suspect no foul play with this situation. And I got to be real. Are you serious? Seriously? No foul play? Really? Let's get into the information first, right? Before we just start speaking opinions, before my commentary comes in. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I can't not say what my heart is telling me. This does not sound like some kid, this little kid just walked. It's possible, sure. Anything's possible at this point. But the fact that they are not suspecting foul play seems a bit weird. This kid was in his yard playing, and I guess parents turned away for 2 seconds, turned back around, and little boy's gone. It's a 2-year-old, by the way. Don't get me wrong. Kids can move quick, especially those 2-year-olds. They move fast, but fast with that kind of distance? I'm sorry. Yes, Dina. A poof and he gone? Just like that? He too, guys. I got questions, okay? But at the same time, we got to sit back and let law enforcement do what they do, but I'm still kind of curious. What led them to believe that no foul play? We don't suspect anything criminal, no criminal activity in this situation. It screams. It is screaming something is afoot to me, though. Now, let's get into some information. Like I said, this is still very new to me, okay? But I did, of course, want to give you guys and bring this information out to you guys. Of course, we care about all people here. And of course, we hope that little Dane is found as soon as possible. But again, it has been about 48 hours. And this is usually these are the most crucial moments right here, right? So let's get into this. Now, I want to share this with you guys so you guys can see this here. Sorry, my mouse is tripping. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So of course, this is Dane. Okay. Little Dane. He's 2 years old. All right. He was last seen March 1st in the Lincoln County area of Oregon. Okay. He weighs 45 pounds. He's 2 feet and 6 inches tall. Cute little kid. Dane was last seen in the yard of 20738 Siletz Highway. I'm sure we're going to listen to some sort of news report that's going to get me the correct pronunciation because you're going to hear Siletz a lot, okay? Or Siletz. Maybe it's Siletz Highway, okay? But anyway, we're going to be hearing the proper pronunciation, I'm sure. So approximately at 4:30 p.m. on a Saturday, that was March 1st, so just 2 days ago, Dean was last seen wearing a gray fuzzy hoodie. And from my understanding, it's a gray fuzzy hoodie with like ears on it. Like he was like maybe it's like ears of a bear or like a dog or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just of some sort of animal, right? So a dark gray fuzzy hoodie with allegedly ears on it. Okay. And then black pants, blue/white shoes. Dane has brown hair, as you guys can see in this photo, with that is shaved on the sides and long on top. Let me just pull this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so he looks a lot like this right now. Okay, and he has green eyes. Of course, let me just say this too really quick. If you have any information, okay, and this is, of course, is a post from Missing People in America. If you have any information pertaining to his whereabouts, or if you saw him or anything of that sort, please call Lincoln County Sheriff's Office at 541-265-0777. Again, 541-265-0777. Okay? Just so you guys know. But we're going to continue on. Let's see some articles. We got some videos, clips, and all that we're going to get into here very shortly. So let's take a look at this. So search is underway. Okay. People are out there looking, combing every single rock. They're looking for him everywhere. Okay. Long story short, they're doing everything they can to try to find this young boy. All right. So a massive search is underway for an Oregon toddler who was reported missing on Saturday afternoon, according to the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. Dane Paulsen, he's 2 years old, as we already discussed, was reported missing at approximately 4:25 p.m. Saturday and was last seen playing in the front yard of his Siletz, Oregon home, out of sight from his parents. Now, again, I would like to know what they mean by out of sight from the parents. Did he throw was he playing by himself? Like, was he playing with a soccer ball or a football or something like that? Or, something that he was like throwing in the field or in the front yard that maybe he kicked or threw a ball into a bush or something like that, right? That would obstruct the parents' view from seeing him as he goes over there, right? As he goes over there to pick up that ball or that toy or whatever it may be, right? Because it does make you wonder what was out of sight from his parents. What does that specifically constitute? And of course, yes, he was allegedly by himself. But we're going to get into more information. But it's, you wonder. And thank you, Rachel, for saying that's a good question. Yeah, wait, what? Explain that for me. I'm kind of curious about that too. Now, Ra, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's fair for us to instantly say neglect because it could have been one of those things. Okay, it could have been one of those things. And Dina, I'm going to take a look at that here in a second. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to make sure I got that here so I don't lose that. But you got to remember, with all due respect, we don't know the full scope. We don't know the full story yet. So yes, it's easy for us to go like, oh, neglectful parents, and then that stuff, right? Sure, that's it. That is on the table, everybody. Okay, that is definitely on the table. But you never know. Kids move fast out here in these streets. One moment you're sitting there, they're right next to you. You turn like this. You turn back around. Where did he go? Okay, he's right there. You know what I mean? Kids move fast. Okay? It's like the Flash running around here. So there could have been a situation where they dropped something on the ground, sat back up, and the kid was gone. But then this also could mean out of sight from his parents, could also mean they walked inside to use the bathroom or something like that, came back out, and the kid was gone. But then instantly I would ask, why would you leave the kid unattended, 2 years old, unattended in your front yard? But like I said, we're going to exercise every theory, every possibility, because everything's still on the table, right? And I'm wondering if the parents have done any interviews. Excuse me. If the parents have done any interviews, have they had a chance to speak out, make any public statements of any kind? Those are the things I'm kind of curious about as well, because again, what's the story here? And then yes, if Misty Chance is actually correct, if the yard is very big, why would he be unattended in a big old yard like that? You see what I'm saying? Because anything's possible. Anything's possible, right? But like I said, we're exercising every question before we start burying the parents, right? Because anything is still very possible when it comes to this kind of situation. But real quick, let me write this down real quick. Local news are, hold on, I'm writing this down. NKPD 12. Thank you so much, Dina. I appreciate that information. I'm gonna look into that when we get into it, because yeah, somebody said the yard is very big, and again, shoot, anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. Kids move fast, but then again, kid moves this fast, you turn around, he gone. You eventually going to be able to catch up to him. If both parents are going opposite directions, if they're going opposite directions in a search, I mean, kids aren't fast. You know what I mean? Or sorry, kids are fast, but they don't go very far, long distances, right? So it makes you wonder, how long was this kid out of sight for? Was this kid out of sight for seconds? Or was this kid out of sight for minutes? And if it's minutes, kid can do some kid can make cover some serious ground. But this also makes me think of Cody Bigsby. Oh, I'm sorry. Remember that case? If you guys have been following the show for a while, Cody Bigsby from a couple years ago, if I have his name correct, may that little boy rest in peace. But again, another, if I'm correct, 2 years old. All right. Same thing. Father claimed that little boy just walked out the front door and was never seen or heard from ever again. And of course, we know what happened in that situation. So again, this disappearance is very strange. But he could have literally literally walked out, or or he could have been taken. 3 different options. Something sinister happened to him by the parents, or he could have walked and literally just got lost, or somebody actually came up and scooped him up. And that takes 2 seconds. We've heard those cases as well. Okay. I'm forgetting the young girl's name, but remember the little girl that was riding a bicycle? It was out, I forgot where it was, but they were at some camping grounds, and the dad and the son and the daughter were all doing rides around the park area. And then she was like, "Can I do one more time? I'll be right back. I just want to take one more ride around the park." And daddy was like, "Okay, go ahead, girl. You grown. We got you." And then she went, and she never came back. She was gone like that. She was, of course, found a couple days later. Thank God she was found, right? But I forgot her name. That was another case that we talked about. Charlotte. Yes. I forgot the last name. But Charlotte, you see what I'm saying? And she just rode around the thing once and then was taken. So it can happen fast. This kind of stuff does happen. Okay? So let us continue. Like I said, I'm not putting any blame on anybody. I'm just putting out the options and the possibilities here. Sorry, but that's just how the game is. And I'm sure this is exactly what the investigation is doing as well. They're exercising every single option. They're exhausting every single option until one either is debunked or is proven proof of a possibility, right? So let's continue on. Let's continue on here. So we thank our community for sharing information and tips related to this investigation. This is what the sheriff's department said. Our team and the community are working tirelessly to bring Dane home. And yes, I hope that they do find him home. Okay. Authorities have searched 382 acres and 283 miles have been covered. Wow. That's a lot of coverage in just 2 days. But Paulsen has still not been found. This is what authorities said. The child is, quote unquote, friendly. And you're going to hear this a lot in the news clips we're going to be playing, telling us, the viewer, telling all of us that he is very friendly and fearless. He is comfortable around strangers and water, but cannot swim. Okay. And is known to love water and vehicles. 2 things that scared the crap out of me right then and there. First one, his love of water. Let's be real. They say that there is a river near the home. There is a possibility that maybe he went down to that river and maybe wanted to get closer to the water. And then something bad. Maybe he got swept away. But then the other thing too, and that's just a possibility. Remember, just a possibility, okay? We're just ruminating and thinking and talking about these possibilities. Then there's another one. Vehicles. If there was some snazzy car that drove by and he thought it was cool looking, what are the chances of somebody pulling up and going, "Hey, you like the car? Come on in." That's possible too. Again, I'm wondering what was the time? How long was what a time was allotted between the time that the parents were not watching him to the time the parents realized that he was no longer around? That's crucial. Because again, if it's seconds, then this car must have driven by fast. But it only takes 2 seconds to grab somebody. But then you also wonder, if it was a long time, then this also tells you that whatever happened to him gives him time to walk to that place or for somebody to pull up and talk. And again, that's what I want to know. What exactly is the timeline here? So Paulsen has brown hair, green eyes, and was last seen wearing a gray fuzzy hoodie with ears. Like I said, animal ears, okay? Black pants and blue and white shoes. This is what the sheriff said, or the sheriff's department said. Multiple search and rescue teams, 40 investigators, aerial drones, human trailing dogs, and 138 community volunteers continue to search for little Dane, okay? Marine teams and divers have also begun looking in Silet's River, or in the Siletz River. The Lincoln County Major Crime Team and the FBI are also assisting with the investigation. And any new leads and any new leads. Oh, and any new leads. So they're doing the investigation, and of course they're investigating any new leads. This is what the authorities have said. The FBI Victim Service Division is also providing resources to Paulsen's family, and this is what the officials say. And I will say this: it's nice to see how quickly everything got started. I mean, I don't know how fast it did, but the fact that it's not like it was like, oh, they suspect no foul play, so it's just a local thing, and it's just local people doing their thing, right? No, they're like, no, FBI now is involved. There's other acronyms. Okay, there's other agencies that are trying to do whatever they can to figure out what happened here and to see if there's any possibility of foul play here. Previously, an adult male and a 1990s gold color station wagon, both of which were not known to the family, were seen in the area approximately 30 minutes prior to Paulsen's disappearance. But authorities have located the driver and the vehicle, which are, quote unquote, no longer a point of interest. That was a thing. They were talking about that earlier and basically saying, hey, have you seen this 1990s gold color station wagon? But now they have ruled that out as no longer a point of interest. Interesting. At this time, Dane's disappearance does not meet the criteria to use the Amber Alert system. I don't know why wouldn't it? It's a kid. He's missing, right? I'm sure he was. I feel like he could have been taken. He's you see what I'm saying? Anyway, the Department of Justice requires certain criteria to issue an Amber Alert, including the following: reasonable belief of a taking situation happening. Okay, the child is in imminent danger of injury or demise. Yes, he is. He's nowhere to be found. He's definitely in imminent danger of injury and losing his doggone life. What the hell's that? There's enough descriptive information on the victim and the abduction. The child is 17 years or younger, and the child's name or other important information has been entered into the National Crime Information Center system, according to the department's website. So I'm sorry. Ain't that kid in imminent danger right now because he's out there? It's not like he can fend for himself. It's not like he can go out there and live off the fat of the land. It's not like he can go out there and forage for his own food. He's 2 years old. What more do you need? Man. Man, I would raise hell. Okay? I'd be like, no. You doing the Amber Alert. You better shush. Do the Amber Alert. You telling me he's not in imminent danger? What, he's at Gam's house? Just eating milk and cookies? He's not. He's out there in the wilderness, possibly. That's stupid, y'all. That is stupid. Amber Alert should be enacted right now. There is no evidence at this time to suggest criminal actions are involved in this incident. But it doesn't matter. If the kid is 2 and can't fend for himself, he's 2, he's most definitely in imminent danger of possible injury or losing his life. Stop. Officials said community members wanting to assist with search efforts can check in with camp hosts. Okay, you guys can help if you want to. All right, if you have any more information or you want to report relevant information regarding his disappearance, please call 541-265-0669. Okay, again, 541-265-0669. The Sheriff's Department has said additional updates on the situation will be shared via social media and flash alert. Okay, again, the logic and the reasoning behind this is beyond me. Okay, is beyond me. But we're gonna take a look at a few more things. We got a few more things. Like I said, we're still trying to find out what actually is going on here. Okay. And I know a lot of us are wanting to understand this as well. Come on. That's not it. Let's see here. Let's see what they say here. Oh, come on. Okay. Again, I'm still quite curious about how this all is how this all went down. And I guess we won't get the full answer until we get some real interviews and some real information. I'm still wanting to know how long it took and all that, which I am kind of curious. Meaning, how long was he out of sight? How long was he not seen? What did they do? Can they tell us exactly what they did? Did they get up? Were they sitting on the sitting outside in the front yard with Dane and having a good old time, and then said, "Oh, I got to go check on something in the kitchen, or I got to go turn something off," right? Or put the the things that were in the washer in the dryer, whatever it may be. I'm still curious, how quickly did they return back to him? And were both parents there? Was the wife at work while the dad was at home, or vice versa? What actually happened here? What's the full breakdown? They're not telling us. It's very vague what's going on here, and hopefully we get more information, right? Let me get some of these super chats here real quick. Maud, thank you so much for being a member for 11 months. I appreciate it. Great to see everyone. Love you, Pascal, and the fam. We love you too. Thank you so much for the love. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ted Bundy. I'm kidding. But Ted Bundy, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Don't. Yeah. Serenity, thank you so much for the love. If you look on Google Maps, it's by a river and kind of secluded. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up the address here, and maybe we could do a little map time over here. Okay. And Misty, thank you so much for the love. A lot of people are worried about cougars in the area. Yeah, but see, like, if it was we're gonna look at that. We're gonna do some map time in a second. Okay. But the fact that there's a river, streams, rivers, all that stuff nearby the home, yeah, that gives me great pause. That instantly gives me great pause. Is it possible that the kid took off running, going, "Ooh, an opportunity to go see the river"? Maybe. When a kid, you know how kids are. They get when their mind is made up, they get tunnel vision, and they just sprint, right? But still, I don't know. It's just so odd that he was out of sight. It's weird. How long was he out of sight for? Again, I want to know. Let's find out if there's more information here. Authorities in Oregon are searching Sunday, and they're searching today now for a missing 2-year-old boy last seen playing in a yard the day before. Dane Paulsen was reported missing around 4:25 on Saturday, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office said. Members of the Sheriff's Office and fire and police agencies searched the property and surrounding areas on foot and with drones with thermal imaging equipment Saturday. Okay, so on Sunday, search and rescue teams were conducting methodical searches of an area north of the small city of Siletz, near the Siletz River, using drones, dogs, and watercraft, the sheriff's office said. Volunteers who wanted to help were urged to stay out of the main search area. Now, again, this was a vehicle of interest, that 1990s gold station wagon, but now that is not a vehicle of interest at all. And this is all that they've said. Excuse me. That's all they say here too. Like I said, it's very it's very minimal what they have out here as far as the information. It's very frustrating. Let's see. This one is about an hour old. Let's see what this says here. Let's take a look at this one. So he vanished from the front yard around 4:30, just before 4:30 p.m. He went and disappeared. Okay. Officials said he was last seen playing in the front of the yard We already know about what he was wearing. Okay. Of course, he's fearless, friendly, comfortable around strangers and water, but cannot swim. He's known to love water and vehicles. Let's continue on. Yeah, I'm like I said, they've covered a lot over the past 48 hours, which is amazing. Um, in addition to search crews, and canines. Okay, so they've been using a lot. Volunteers, officials used divers, which watercraft, sorry, and canines to track down Dane. For the first few hours of his disappearance, the search continued on Monday. Authorities are investigating tips from the community. Once again, we thank our community for their compassion and assistance. Our team and the community are working to bring Dane home. And of course, they're saying Siletz is about 90 miles from Eugene. Let's see if there's anything here. Let's take a look at some info. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of information that I was hoping that they would say I was hoping that they would give us just a little bit more than what they've, because I mean instantly I'm going, okay, how did this all go down? Why have they not how long was it till they turned and noticed that their son was missing? Like I said, a lot of there's some things that are just not mathing, but or they just haven't said out loud yet, which is very frustrating. But let's take a look at
Monday morning. And happening now, a major search underway for a 2-year-old boy who vanished from his home in Celeste. This is about 30 minutes southeast of Depot Bay.
The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says 2-year-old Dane Paulsen disappeared Saturday around 4:30 in the afternoon after he'd been playing out in his front yard out of his parents' sight. So I believe we have a closer look at the area where this child disappeared. If you can take a map of this area. Okay, we've got a picture here of Dane. This is 2-year-old Dane. Now, he lives in a forested area near the Siletz River. That's a picture of the yard, and here we'll zoom in on the map to give you some context of this space. Dane was last seen in his front yard in that home with a gray fuzzy hoodie with teddy bear ears, black pants, and white shoes. An Amber Alert has not been issued. Authorities say it does not meet the criteria in this case for an Amber Alert, but several neighbors and agencies are taking part in an ongoing search. The FBI has joined in. KOIN 6 spoke with some community members praying for the child and his family.
Light a candle right now and pray for the family. I've been checking in with the mama.
I am still very curious. I am still very curious about the timeline here. I mean, just for me, it's with all due respect, how does that happen? I get it that things can happen very fast. But then there's another part of me that's like, I don't know. This just seems a bit, it just seems odd, guys. I'm sorry. Got to keep it real. Something seems odd. But again, it could be nothing, like I said.
And prayed with her a few times.
Authorities have been using search dogs, drones with cameras, and thermal imaging. They've asked community volunteers to actually stay away from certain search areas because too many people can interfere with search dogs' tracking senses. Community members asked to stop the search last night at dark, and officials say they are expecting to reconvene at this hour this morning to pick back up. If you have any information or you think you've seen 2-year-old Dane, you can call the Lincoln County tip line that's been set up. That's 541-265-0669. You can also find more details on this case right now on.
Yeah, I'm quite curious about this too. I wish there was more information. We're going to be looking at things here in a second, but there is something that I want to get. Hold on. Sorry, give me a second. I want to do a little See if I can do map times. One second. Just want to get this real quick. Must be. Okay, we're going to look at this here in a second. I just wanted to get the address off of this thing. But here's the thing. Some seems odd. Some seems odd, but it could be nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Me and all of our true crime minds instantly go, oh, something sinister, right? And it could be nothing. But it's still very odd to me that they would sit there and not say Amber Alert instantly because of what's going on here. Okay, it's a kid. This is not like some 15, 16-year-old kid that just ran off, that could possibly fend for themselves. This is a 2-year-old kid. The fact that there is no Amber Alert is beyond me, in my personal opinion. But at the same time, does the Amber Alert really change anything? I mean, you either find the kid or you don't find the kid, right? But again, just having that awareness helps, right? But let's continue. We got a few things. Then we're going to go into map time. We're going to look at some things here. So let's take a look at some more video.
We're going to ask you to take a look at your screen right here. This is a picture of 2-year-old Dane Paulsen, who has been missing since Saturday. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office released this photo saying that Dane was wearing a gray fuzzy hoodie with ears, black pants, and blue and white shoes when he disappeared. He has brown hair and green eyes.
The toddler went missing Saturday afternoon while he was at home playing in his front yard. Ashley Graham joins us now in the newsroom to walk us through what we know. Ashley.
Yeah, good morning. Several law enforcement agencies and the FBI spent the weekend searching for Dane Paulsen, and so did the community. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says over 100 community volunteers, nearly 90 certified search and rescue members, and 40 investigators have joined the search efforts. Boats and divers searched the nearby river, and heat-seeking drones have monitored from the air. Right now, investigators say they don't believe any crimes have taken place. Earlier in the investigation, the sheriff's office said a vehicle of interest was seen in the area before Dane went missing. Investigators have now said they found that person and their car through a tip, and they are no longer of interest. China.
So no longer of interest. Okay, so then what else is going on? What else, right? There's got to be something else. Is there? And I know some homes don't have that type of technology, but is there a Ring camera anywhere? Is there security cameras of any kind? Like what, you know what I mean? We need more. I need more info. I mean, that would be helpful, but is it just me? Does it feel like the reaction here is now I'm not expecting it to be super dramatic and, all over the place and just messy, because that's not what we need. But I just feel like this one seems just very subdued. And the fact that there isn't much information seems a bit weird to me too, right? Now, don't get me wrong. The parents don't need to be out here going like, where's my son? They don't need to do that. They really don't, but at the same time, it is interesting that we're not hearing much from the family right now. I mean, maybe that'll change over time, but it is interesting that we're not hearing much right now from the family. But let's go on. Let's go on.
Ashley, an Amber Alert was not sent out over the weekend when Dane disappeared. Why is that?
Yeah, it's a good question. In order for law enforcement to send out an Amber Alert in Oregon, the situation must meet a certain criteria. And a Lincoln County detective investigating Dane's disappearance explained that.
Amber Alerts require specific information, including license plates, and at the time we did not have a direct link from the vehicle and the child being abducted.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. We got to roll that back. I mean, listen, I'm not knocking the sergeant, okay, Sergeant Spano, for giving us what the facts are, right? This is how they enact the Amber Alert and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I bet. But something, We need a driver's, we need a license plate and all that. What? I sure, if that's how they do things, it just seems like trash to me. Really? It's a 2-year-old. He gone. This ain't a kid who's like, you don't understand me, mom. And then he just jumps in a car or just runs away. No, this is a 2-year-old kid. How is this not even? Hi. I'm rolling that back so he can break that down one more again for all of us in the nosebleed seats, because this is most definitely an Amber Alert. Sorry. They need to change some criterias then. Okay, they need to change that paperwork immediately.
County detective investigating Dane's disappearance explained that.
Amber Alerts require specific information, including license plates, and at the time we did not have a direct link from the vehicle and the child being abducted.
So solely because there's no direct link to a car and the kid being possibly taken, that's the only reason why an Amber Alert exists? Come on, the Amber Alert exists to notify people out there that there has been a kid that has been taken. That's the only reason why it should be out there in the first doggone place. And if it happens to be a situation where like, oh, it's a Ford 150, a black Ford 150, it's got a dent on the side. Okay, Lil Ray is in that ride. We're trying to find him. That's a different story. Then you give us the specifics. But if there's a kid who's 2, oh, man, come on, man. I'm just speaking common sense, because that's apparently a new phrase. I'm just speaking common sense, guys. Am I not? Or they need to have a new kind of alert that is more specific then. You know, maybe it's not Amber Alert, but they need another thing. Period. Kid gone. He's missing. Alert. Put it out there for everyone to see his face. Make it a national thing. Whatever. Because again, it's been 48 hours. This kid could have crossed state lines if this kid was taken. So again, and just so you know, this is all going on in Oregon, everybody. This is all going on in Oregon. All right? For those of y'all who are just kind of getting a little late to the party. And do me a favor, guys, because, it helps get the word out here. It helps the show. It helps get Dane's name out there and his face out there. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, okay? Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe, follow, all that stuff. We cover a lot of things on this show, including missing person cases. We cover a lot of true crime on here and everything else as well. So please, make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and let's continue rocking and rolling. But he explained the Amber Alert. I think it's trash. It's trash. But okay, it is what it is. That's just how the cookies are made.
The search continues for Dane today, and investigators are still looking for any information related to his disappearance or that will bring him home safely. So if you know anything, please call that number on your screen, 541-265-0669.
0669. She was about to finish that number. 0669. Again, don't know where this kid is right now. This is very, very odd. Just in my personal opinion, but we got more stuff to look at, so let's continue rocking and rolling, all right?
That search in Lincoln County for the 2-year-old boy is ending.
Oh, by the way, where are y'all getting the news or the information about him being left alone for 30 minutes? What article is saying that he was left alone for 30 minutes? That's something that I'm still wanting to know. Where was he? Where is that being reported? And can you send it my way? Okay, send it my way, because let me just be real. If it's just a post on X, I'm telling you right now, you have to take that information with a grain of salt, because X be wilding out here, and we all know that. Okay, but if it's an actual article giving us a more specific timeline, that would be very helpful. But like I said, some people are saying that in the chat. Now, that could be somebody just hearing some of these people who are sitting here saying, oh, it was 30 minutes. You might just be hearing that through the grapevine, right? And if that's the case, Wow. But I would like to have some more proof of that. Okay? Because again, the internet streets be wilding out here. And some people just say things just to have some clicks and just to put out misinformation on there. Okay. So if you have it from an actual source, not just some random person online saying some number, please let me know. Okay. Please let me know. Okay. But let's continue on here. All right. Because I have heard nothing. I'm repeating right now. So you don't think like, well, I heard from Pascal is 30 minutes. No. You did not hear it from me. You did not hear that from me. All right. Because I don't see that anywhere. Let me repeat that. I do not see that anywhere. But if someone does have that information that is coming from an article from a reliable source, not just somebody with a time on their hands, and posting things online that have no backing, please send it my way. Please. But I have not heard anything about 30 minutes, this kid being unattended. And if that is the case, that is diabolical, right? That is shocking. But we have no proof of that. I have yet to see it. I'm going to look around. But I have not seen anything of that sort. Just so you guys know. Love you.
As it got dark tonight, but will resume in the morning. I'm Lisa Balick, and this is the 10. From the FBI to neighbors, a huge search underway for a little boy who disappeared from his backyard in Siletz, just east of Depot Bay. The toddler vanished yesterday afternoon. Our Ariel Salk was out with the community members today who are praying and trying to help find him.
Hundreds of people searching these woods looking for 2-year-old Dane Paulsen.
Light a candle right now and pray for the family.
For over a day, the people of Siletz have been helping with local law enforcement search for the missing toddler.
We've never really had anything like that this close to home.
From the water to the land, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office combed the area with help from other agencies, including the FBI. Using search dogs, drones with cameras, and thermal imaging. In the meantime, they have asked the community volunteers to stay away from certain search areas.
Because they have dogs out there, that are searching. And if too many people get out there in the woods, then it tends to distract the dogs because the dogs are hunting for human scent. And so if the people are out there, it's also covering up any tracks.
According to the sheriff's office, Dane was playing in the yard of his home out of sight of his parents around 4 p.m. yesterday when he disappeared. Neighbors say they have been helping from the moment.
Hold on. I want to roll this back so we can see the backyard a little bit. Okay. I just want you guys to see this.
Sheriff's office. Dane was playing in the yard of his home out of sight of his parents around 4 p.m. yesterday when he disappeared. Neighbors say they have been helping from the moment the child went missing.
The mama.
Now again, is that a huge backyard? Is it a big backyard in your, you know what I mean? Like it's a yard, but and then there's a lot of like bushy area like when they move it back. See all that, that's a lot. So for a 2-year-old, yeah, that backyard's massive, for a 2-year-old. But again, we're going to take a look at some aerial shots here in a second and all that too. But it is just interesting. Let me roll that back again.
Dane was playing in the yard of his home out of sight of his parents around 4 p.m. yesterday when he disappeared. Neighbors say they have been helping from the moment the child went missing.
The mama came over here in frantic, asking if I'd seen the baby. And of course, we went directly over there to the property and started to help do the search.
Let's get a closer look at the area around where the child disappeared. You can see the forest area and the Siletz River immediately to the north.
Dane, hold on. Let's take a look at that photo.
You can see the forest area and the Siletz River.
Okay, let me get rid of this as well. So, oh wow, that's that's the home, and that's a whole lot of ground. Oh my damn. Wow. I mean, and that's just an aerial shot of this whole thing, right? And what's crazy, oh boy, that's crazy. Hold on. Because there is something here I want to share as well. And I think this is one of the reasons why people are saying 30 minutes and confusing that. So hold on. So this is from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. So I want to read this, and I just searched it and found it. So I want to share this with y'all here really quick. And then we're going to go back to this here. Okay. In fact, let me take this down so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I don't mean to interrupt this, okay, for a brief moment, but I want to give you guys this information. And I think this is the reason why people are saying 30 minutes, but I think they're misreading it and misunderstanding it. So let's take a look at this. It says here, okay, let's see. This is from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, okay, on Saturday, March 1st, I'm sorry. About 4:25 p.m., the sheriff's office responded to a report of a missing 2-year-old male, Dane Paulsen, from his residence near milepost 21 on Highway 229 north of Siletz, Oregon. A vehicle and an adult male, both of which were not known to the family, were noted near a bridge close to the residence approximately 30 minutes prior to the juvenile's disappearance. Let me just highlight that right there. I think people are seeing approximately 30 minutes to his disappearance, and they're just kind of saying that he was unattended for 30 minutes. No, they're saying that they saw somebody out there for 30 minutes before he disappeared. Now, I could be wrong, okay? But this is the only place where I'm seeing 30 minutes, okay? Doesn't mean that the kid was unattended for 30 minutes. It means that someone was around the area at approximately 30 minutes before little Dane went and disappeared, just so you know. But now they said that they checked on this man with his 1990s tan or gold station wagon, and they let him go. They said that they had nothing. He had nothing to do with this, that he was a false alarm. Okay? So has nothing to do. This adult male that was seen in this gold station wagon 30 minutes before Dane disappeared, they're saying there's no connection and that guy has been released. Just so you guys know. Further info. Okay, so through a community tip, this vehicle and operator have since been located. Following further investigation, this subject and the vehicle are no longer a point of interest. That's also very important to reiterate again. Vehicle and person no longer a point of interest. So he's been cleared. We thank our community for sharing the information and tips related to this investigation. At this time, Dane's disappearance. At the time of Dane's disappearance, he was playing in his front yard of the residence and out of sight of his parents. What I want to know is what actually means out of sight of his parents. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Like what? He was in the bushes? He threw a ball into the bushes and he walked in there and, you know what I mean? And then he walked in there and then just never came back. What actually happened here, right? That does not make any sense. It does not make any sense. But anyway, the vehicle and the person are no longer a point of interest. They've been cleared. The kid was playing in his front yard and he was out of sight of his parents. What the hell does that mean? Everything else is pretty clear except that part. What the hell does that mean? Okay, and then of course Dane is friendly and fearless and it's comfortable around strangers and water, but cannot swim, which also can be bad. That's a bad thing to hear, right? That maybe little boy went to the water and maybe he fell in and of course he got washed away. That's a possibility. All right, he's known to love water and vehicles, but then that also could mean that he could have been picked up. Okay, so at this time, he is still missing. Investigators are following up on numerous leads, including investigating various leads provided by our community. We have multiple search and rescue teams and sheriff's posse, along with community volunteers searching the area. Marine teams and divers are searching the river. The Lincoln County Major Crime Team and the FBI are also assisting with investigative leads. At this time, his disappearance does not meet the criteria, which we've already talked about before. Okay. Now, they are using all kinds of, they're utilizing everything that they can get their hands on right now to try to find this young boy. Okay. This baby, for crying out loud. And again, still, they have nothing right now. They've come up with nothing so far, which is absolutely heartbreaking. Very frustrating because, again, I go, how does a kid go unattended for? How does that happen? 2-year-old outside. But I want you guys to see this again. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, Misty Chance. That's what I want to know too. Like, was she like going in, heating up some food? Were both parents there? Did he, what I'm saying? How did he become out of sight by the parents? And no, we have not heard anything. Green sky. This is the other part. For some, my mouse is acting weird, but here it is. That's the weird part about this. And I think that's the reason why I'm feeling some type of way about this. And not every case is the same. I want to make that abundantly clear. Not every case is the same. I mean, we went from, Riley Strain's case. Okay. We've done Gabby Petito's case. We've done all of these, right? But there's so many different cases that are just different. And the reactions are very strange, right? Not strange. I'm sorry. They're not always the same. Not every parent is going to step forward and speak out. Not every parent is going to be in the front on camera doing every interview that they can. No. Not even the ones when they're guilty, and even the ones when they're not guilty, right? Everyone acts different, especially when it comes to a missing child situation. So we have to take that and understand that and respect what's going on here and kind of expect the unexpected in a way, right? But this is very odd that he was out of sight. It's just that part that drives me crazy, okay? It's just that part that just seems a bit odd. But of course, law enforcement is going to do everything they can. Again, I'm wondering what the timeline is, because the timeline can say everything. The timeline can explain so much more. Because if it was a situation where the 30 minutes, let's just say the kid was unattended for 30 minutes. Yeah, that's some serious ground that kid could possibly do if he's unattended, right? Plenty of time for somebody to pull up on the highway or pull up into the area and pick this kid up too, if you had that kind of ample time. So again, like I said, it seems a bit odd, but let us continue here. This it's very odd. It's very odd, but we're going to see what happens. Okay. We're going to see what happens, and maybe the family will speak out. Maybe the parents will give us more info, because it is a bit weird that they say that the kid was out of sight. For how long was he out of sight? What exactly does that mean? And I'm sure all of us are trying to figure what the hell that means. But look at this, though. The home. That's a lot of ground, by the way. Okay. That's a lot of ground. And then the river is right there. Okay. The river is right there. So anything's possible. That kid could have just, depending on how easily accessible it is to get to that river, anything could have happened here. It's crazy, but let's continue on, guys.
Immediately to the north.
Dane is friendly and fearless and was comfortable around strangers and water, but cannot swim. Dane is known to love water and vehicles.
Dane was last seen wearing a gray fuzzy hoodie with teddy bear ears, black pants, and white shoes.
I've been checking in with the mama and prayed with her a few times.
Investigators were initially looking for a gold station wagon that may have been involved, but are no longer following that lead.
Through a community tip, this vehicle and operator have since been located. Following investigation, this subject and described vehicle are no longer a point of interest in this investigation.
Please bring baby Dane home, Father. Please bring him home.
Tonight, the community comes together in prayer, hoping to find the toddler alive.
It's very, very trying. You know, it's been an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm sure it has been.
Community members told me that law enforcement asked them to quit their search after dark for their safety and to check back in at 7 a.m. to continue their search. Reporting in Lincoln County, Ariel Salk, back.
And this, of course, was a report from yesterday, if I'm correct. Again, you know, we're hopping back and forth on the timeline and everything, but still, like, it's just crazy to me that there has been no new information in regards to Dane's whereabouts. It's very odd. But let's take a look. I'm going to share. I mean, we just saw we just saw something. Hold on, guys. Let me. The layers. Come on, let's see it. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's take a look at this. Sorry, I don't do map time very often, okay? But when I do, I choose Dos Equis. But anyway, take a look at this, okay? I mean, that is a big old backyard. And then, you know, you see there's a lot of, I don't know how high that kind of vegetation here is, but it seems like, just looking back, and of course anything's possible because I mean we're not boots on the ground in the area, but there is a possibility he could have ran off. He could have ran off in some small little opening, right? Could have gone right into the river in this area, right? But it does make me wonder, you know, there's still a possibility that there's enough vegetation that would cut him off or anyone off from being able to have easy access to the river. So the only thing I can think of is like he was playing with a toy or something of that sort. And maybe he went over towards the bank of the river and then he tried to grab that toy and lost footing. That's possible, but it is a massive. This is massive. And if this is where he was, and if he was playing in the front yard, and I'm assuming front yard is right here. And then you look at like how far away the highway is right here. That's quite a bit of a walk. Right? Even for a even for a 2-year-old. I mean, especially for a 2-year-old, right? That's quite a walk. So again, I don't know. But like I said, you know, the 30 minutes thing, I have yet to see anything about him being unattended for 30 minutes. And if that is the case, then the parents have a lot of explaining to do. Okay. They have a lot of explaining to do. But at the same time, it does make you wonder what actually happened here. And of course, we want to know what the timeline is. How long was he unattended for? How long was he not, quote unquote, seen? Right? Because it does seem a bit odd. Then the other thing too is this. Let's take a look at this. Let's not forget. Not only do they live here, but there's also people who live here too. That's another residence. So what about these people? Did they see anything? Could they have seen anything? Right? And of course, the lady that was speaking, I'm assuming. Don't at me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming the woman that was speaking, that was leading the prayer vigil, I think she lives in this house here. I mean, she said she went next door. She came next door and said, "Have you seen Dane?" And of course, she was like, "No, I haven't seen Dane." Right? So again, that's quite a distance for any 2-year-old. And yet still police are saying they suspect no foul play. Very interesting. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to blow it up a little bit more so you guys can see that. But I mean, look at that. Front lawn. I don't know what they consider front lawn, because it feels like front lawn is right. You see where my mouse is. It feels like front lawn is right there, right? So kiddo was here and then just disappeared out of nowhere. So some ain't right. And the fact that the police are sitting here saying that they suspect nothing criminal, again, yeah, maybe there was no criminal situation. Maybe the kid did get unfortunately adventurous and fell in the river. That's still very possible, but I don't know. We're gonna look up some more things. I'm gonna try to find some more things, but let me get some of these super chats here really quick. Serenity, thank you so much. It's also on the coast, so the river goes into the ocean. That's not great either. That's bad. But thank you so much for that information, because if that is, then he could be washed out into the ocean. That's terrible as well, if that was a possibility. Okay, and all possibilities are still on the table, y'all. Let's not forget that. Fly Girl, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. Pascal, excuse, interrupt, fry. What? Oh, okay. Okay, excuse for the interruption. There's a Lori Vallow, Daybell, whatever her name is, doing an interview, or is she doing an interview? Really? Okay, that's a new one. That's news to me. But thank you so much for that information. Goldie, thank you so much. I think there should be a new alert system that has less of a criteria than Amber Alert does for these exact circumstances. I agree 110%. I think it's absolute trash that they're like, well, we can't use that one, ma'am, because this, that, and the third. It's like, what? No, these people, this kid it's a 2-year-old. He gone. Where is he? He's in dire straits instantly. As soon as he leaves the supervision from a parent, and he's just out there in these wilderness streets. Oh, damn right. Oh, damn right. You need to, no, there needs to be an alert of some sort. Okay. Beautiful Disaster. Thank you so much for the love. Can't find parents' name anywhere. That's weird. Yeah, they haven't really. That's what I find weird too. Like, we're not hearing anything from the parents. But like I said, not everybody reacts the same way to tragedies like this. Not everybody just gets right in front of the cameras and goes, I'm Dane's father, right? Or I'm Dane's mother, and we're looking for him. No, a lot of people will hide. Not everybody wants to be all up in the videos. And that's not a bad or good thing. It just is what it is, right? Everyone deals with tragedy different. And I think we just have to go with what it is. Again, this also could be people who just did not do that whole living off of social media. Every day is a selfie. You know what I mean? Out here in Oregon manifesting. No, like some people just want to live their lives and have nothing to do with social media. So there may not be any photos online of this couple, of the parents. That's possible. But eventually they're going to have to speak, because people are going to want to know what actually happened here. That's the only thing that I find strange. It's the response of, he was out of sight. What does that mean exactly? Because that can mean so many different things. Again, this is from the police, sheriff's office. Again, where did it go? playing in front of their residence and out of sight of his parents. What exactly does that mean? I'll even highlight it so you guys can see it in the nosebleed seats. Please explain that to me. What does that mean exactly? And and it could just be my true crime mind going full force, right? All true crime pistons firing off, going, wait a second. What does out of sight mean? I'm not sitting here saying anything sinister, but I think that out of sight information is very important because it could very well mean, yeah, we were playing catch, and then he went into, I threw the ball, and it rolled into a bushy area, and he walked over there to get it, and then he never returned. Oh my Lord! So it was only seconds. What happened here? Oh, he must have fallen in the river, right? Or yeah, I had to go inside because such and such was going on. So I ran inside and I had to have been in there for 5 minutes and I came back out and he was gone. That's very important information too. Out of sight. What does that mean, dagnabbit? What the hell does that mean, ladies and germs? That's very vague and very weird. Okay. Sus? Maybe sus. We'll see. Like I said, I leave everything on the table. Everything from the extremely suspicious to the very possible, right? We leave them all on the table because we don't know nothing. And that's the part that's very frustrating about this doggone thing, okay? It's very, very frustrating. But hold on real quick. Just want to take a look at something. All right. Here real quick, guys. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Okay. Do what it do, please and thank you. All right. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. Subscribe. Okay. Show some love. Okay. And it helps the show. Not only does it help the channel, but it helps this story and this case get out there because you never know. There might be somebody out there that knows exactly what happened or saw this kid. Another thing too. We got to take a look at this again. It just popped in my head. And yes, Lee McKenna, it's been 2 whole mother-loving days, and this kid has not been seen yet, has not been found. Now, here's the thing. Can we just, okay, let's iron out all the possibilities here. Just ride with me for a second. And I know some of y'all going to be like, how dare you ask that question? I got to, all right? There's a couple things that are very unfortunate with this situation. Think about this for a second. Look at everything. If you're looking at the photo, look at everything to the left of the house. Everything from the left of the house on. Don't even look at the river. We're not even going to look at the river right now. You want to know why I'm saying don't even look at the river? Okay? It's because we've already talked about the river. So let's not even talk about the river. Let's just look over to the left of this map. Shall we? Let's take a look. That's a whole lot of vegetation. That's a whole lot of woods. A whole lot. All right? Which makes the situation even worse. I'm just going to keep it a bean. Doesn't make it easy. And I'm sure they're doing everything they can. They have already combed through almost 300 miles of land, right? But look at all that greenery. All of that shrubbery and vegetation. It's a lot, right? So this is not going to be an easy search. That is if he went to the left of the map. Like I said, we're not even going to look at the river. Why? Because we already been talked about the river, and they're looking in the river right now as well. But we have not talked about all of the wooded area right there on the left of the map. Sure, there's a possibility he ran in there. One of the other questions I would instantly ask, as well is, could he have had a fascination with the woods? You know how kids are, all right? When it's an area, and it's a 1 or 2 year old kid that they know for a fact they're not allowed to go in this particular area, but it's still, they're drawn to it. They still just bolt for it. And no, they're not to. They're not to do it, But they still do it because they're still curious about it. Why can't I go over there? It's just so awesome. Look at all that stuff. Maybe that's what happened. And he just bolted into that area. Mom and dad aren't here. I want to see what's in there. And maybe he went into the brush. That's possible, right? That's very possible. Same thing with the river. Do not go anywhere near that river. And he's like, well, right? There's a possibility that he ran off into the river because of a fascination, right? Just a thought. Now, here's the other thing, though, too. Let's look over to the right side of the map, shall we? Look at this doggone highway. So you mean to tell me that a kid would walk on this highway? 2-year-old kid would walk by himself on this highway and ain't no one going to see little Dane walking on the mother-loving highway? Little baby walking on the Silet's highway. You're telling me no one's going to see him on that road? He's 2. It's the same thing I said about Cody Bigsby. May he rest in peace, that little boy. But back in the day, I said the same thing. And I'm not sitting here saying that anything sinister happened, but it's still on the table. There's still a possibility of something bad and sinister and nefarious happened. I'm sorry, but nothing's been, we don't know anything right now. So it's still on the table. But even in that situation, the father said, yeah, he just walked out. I came back home, the door was open, he was gone, right? And I'm sitting there going like, you mean to tell me a 2-year-old is just going to walk through the neighborhood and ain't nobody going to see this little toddler walking around by himself? That doesn't make any sense. It's the same thing as this. Even if this little kid walked all the way out to this highway, even if he went to Hatala Road down here, right down here. I'm going to blow this up so you can see it even more. Okay. Even if he walked down this road, let's just say he came out, banged a right, banged a left, and walked down that. You mean to tell me no one going to see him? Come on, y'all. A 2-year-old, that's not going to be a little odd. Shoot. Even Carly Russell saw a little baby, redheaded baby on the side of the road and pulled over at night. I know that's a lie. She was lying and, remember Carly Russell? Okay, that was, but she even saw. She even pulled over. So again, I look at this and I'm like, wait a second. Come on now. You mean to tell me a 2-year-old's going to walk all the way over here and then just disappear? And if he was on some sort of busy road, no car would pull over and say, whoa, wait a second. Whose child is this? None of them? So there's still a lot of possibilities here. That's why I leave a lot of it here. Okay? I leave a lot of it on the table for now. I think the parents I do think the parents need to speak. Or at least speak to police and whatever information that they can actually give to the public. We can actually get that because, again, this doesn't make sense. He was out of sight. The hell does that mean? Let's try something. So this is the road. Silet's highway. Okay. And this is the bridge. So again, 2-year-old crossing a bridge. Hold on, guys. We're going back down. We're going to ease on down the road real quick. So that's, from my understanding, that's the house. That's the neighbor's house. And then beyond that is the house there. Or it's, beyond. No, that's the other house. Because there's like 3 properties right there. And then beyond that, they're there. The house is over there. Right? I mean, really, real talk. Look at all that. Look at all that greenery, guys. Here's Hatala Road. And that's a dead end. If you can see that there. I mean, the river. The river is something else, guys. That river is something else, guys. Yeah, and I wouldn't. I agree. I wouldn't say that this is a neighborhood. Okay, this is just houses that happen to be clustered together in one area on a road next to a highway. So again, how did Blue Velvet? How did you get that? Where did you find that info, Blue Velvet? I'm curious about that. Yeah, again, like I'm just looking at just the immediate area, right? And depending on how busy this road really can be, this Siletz Highway, depending on how busy it really is, because like I said, there's this like cluster of buildings, and then beyond that is where where their home is. So it is very, very interesting how this whole thing went down. Whoops. So yeah, I mean, it's so odd. This is so odd. Paradigm Blaster just said Siletz Highway is busy. Really? Okay. But like I said, you'd think that if they saw a 2-year-old boy just walking around by himself and they're driving down the highway, I feel like there would have been many reports of that, right? Info's on a Blue Velvet. Info's on a Facebook post. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Yeah, Elaine, just whole thing don't make no sense, y'all. Whole thing don't make no doggone sense. Okay. Don't make no sense. Yeah. Michelle, yes, I do remember. Yeah, Riley Strain's remains being found very far, surprisingly far down the river. Now, that again is if this young boy is in the river. Something tells me he's not. But I've been wrong. a billion times. Okay. I've been wrong, so wrong on a million things, but interesting. Lynn. I am reading, but what did you say something? I'm looking. I'm reading all y'all's. I'm trying to read all of them as fast as I can. Yeah, Lynn. No, some other people are saying the father's name is something else. But of course, I want to make sure. Like I said, I want to make sure I got the names right before I sit there and say something that's inaccurate, right? Because again, people say a lot of things online that are not correct, right? Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on one second. I'm doing some research. Hold on. Wow. See, that's the thing. One thing I'm trying to figure out, okay, is again, okay. It sounds like there's like a family, again, I get nervous about putting out information that is not that hasn't been backed by anything. Um because I guess there's a possibility of it, of the father possibly owning or part of some sort of family franchise or family restaurant. But again, like I said, I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Okay, allegedly, but at the same time, there's a I'm sure there's plenty of people with the last name Paulsen. So that's kind of the thing I get a little bit iffy on. And from what I'm seeing, it seems like if these are the people, then these are very young. They're fairly young people. In fact, there's a photo and it's of, if this is them, she's pregnant in the photo. And this is about 2 years old. The photo. Or sorry, it's a little over 3 years old. So this is very interesting. Or sorry, a little under 3 years old. So it's interesting. But like I said, I'm kind of taking it with a grain of salt. So yeah. But I don't know. Like I said, the names that are being put out here, don't know if they are actually that of, you know what I mean? Of this of Dane. So I'm just taking, like I said, we've got to take everything with a grain of salt. Okay. I will put this up because I found it. Okay. I found it. And again, this could very well be them. There is a post that's going on Facebook right now, or from yesterday. And again, these are two people that are part of like a family restaurant type of thing called the Chowder Bowl. So yeah, 1 second, though, before I show that to you all. Because there's two different things I want to share with y'all. Okay, if this is accurate, like I said, this is just information I'm getting. Okay, and so if this is accurate, this is what we're getting right now, which is very interesting. So Aaron and Shamet, the mother's name, I guess, is Shamet of Chowder Bowl. Okay, they're asking for search volunteers to help find their missing 2-year-old son this morning. Okay, and that was yesterday. Okay, so of course the address and everything. That is Shamet Jackson, pregnant. And I'm assuming pregnant with baby Dane. And I guess they're a part of a family that owns a family restaurant called Chowder Bowl. Okay. So there's a couple things. Let's just take a look at this photo, because it's also in this other thing I'm going to share or show you guys as well. So Chowder Bowl, it's a family thing, clearly. Shamet just said this, or Chumet just said, my baby is missing. His is, I guess she was saying his name is Dane. He is 2 years old. He looked like he's okay. So my baby is missing. His name is Dane. He's 2 years old. He looks like he's 3 or 4. He was wearing navy blue shoes with 2 stars, white socks, black sweats, and a dark blue zip-up hooded fleece with teddy bear ears. So teddy bear ears on the hood of his zip-up. A gold station wagon year make, approximately 96, tinted windows. Last seen 4 p.m. on Siletz River Highway, milepost 20, coming from Lincoln City, 3 miles north town of Siletz. Went missing around 4 p.m. today. So that's Shamet. And if this is correct, this is her post talking about Dane and him missing. And I get it. How she's talking or how she's typing. I'm sure she's having a full-on nervous breakdown. Okay. So again, it seems, this is just very weird with what happened to this young boy. And of course, they said they ruled out the car. Okay, guys, they ruled out the car. But let's see, is there anything more? Yes, missing child, baby Dane. I truly hope that they find him. But here's some information. Here's some more stuff. So 3rd generation of ownership. So at the Chowder Bowl, hard work and great fun run in the family. And let's see again, this is the same photo. Same photo, guys. And of course, it's a photo of Shamet and Aaron Paulsen, the father of Dane Paulsen. And clearly that is Dane before he was born, right? She was pregnant with baby Dane at that time. So Shamet, maybe it's Shamet. Yeah, probably Shamet. No disrespect here. Lo siento. But, and of course, they're just talking about the Chowder Bowl restaurant, okay? The business was already an institution with a loyal backing or loyal following. Back in the 1990s, the Chowder Bowl had already served customers for nearly 50 years. People loved the chowder and the rest of the menu, and they kept coming back. And that's what Patty right here said, okay? So moving on. Patty and her husband, Robert, purchased the restaurant in 2004. In the intervening 19 years, the Longs shepherded the Chowder Bowl through unprecedented challenges, notably the Great Recession and the pandemic, of course. If I'd known how risky owning a restaurant is, Robert said, I would have never touched it with a 10-foot pole, despite the risk and the remarkable economic crises they endured. The restaurant survived. I asked how they did it. Patty and Robert replied in unison: blood, sweat, and tears, lots of tears. So again, I guess this whole thing is being passed over to the son, Aaron Paulsen. And this is what we know so far. But again, parents have not really they really haven't spoken out. Okay. Except for saying, hey, my little boy is missing and I don't know where he is. That's all we know so far. So they haven't really been out here being like, oh, look, getting on podcasts and TV shows and stuff. They haven't done any of that stuff. Not yet, at least. Not yet, at least. But I'm sure that's going to happen soon if he's not found. If he's found soon, then it'll be a different conversation. And I'm hoping that he's found soon. We don't need this to keep going. He needs to be found as soon as possible. But it does seem a bit odd that he was out of sight. And again, I keep wondering, how long is out of sight? Things happen, okay? Things do happen, okay? It's just so, like I said, it's just so strange. He was out of sight. What does that mean exactly? Where was he? What was going on here? And I think that that's something that needs to be said. I'm sure the family, the parents have told him or the police something about that. But I'm still curious as to what is going on here. What happened here? And why has it taken? Why has he not been found so far? That is the thing that I think a lot of us are still trying to understand here. But one second, I'm just looking to see if there's any more updates revolving around baby Dane's situation. Let me see. Just seeing if there's any more newer updates. And honestly, there hasn't really been any more updates, which is really frustrating. Yeah, nothing new so far. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this. It's from People Magazine. This is People Magazine is covering it as well, but they, like I said, there's still not a whole lot. Like I said, the information is very, very minimal. And again, here's the 30 minutes thing, and I can see why people are mixing that up. But they have not said anything about him being unattended for 30 minutes. It's just saying that there's that he was that they saw a man in a car 30 minutes before he disappeared. And then they said that guy in that car has been checked out. So they're right now they're back at zero. They're back at back of the drawing board all over again, back at ground zero with nothing, which is absolutely terrible. There are no leads. The police believe that there is no criminal activity revolving around this, that there's no foul play. To me, I feel that a kid missing in the middle of the woods is foul play no matter what. For me. Now, I know that doesn't automatically mean what I mean by foul play is like obviously something bad happened. There's no way that this kid just is out there building a fort and doing his own version of Lord of the Flies right now. I'm sorry. There's just he's not Tom Hanks in Castaway right now. Okay, he's not. So what is actually going on here? And then instantly I go, yeah, this should be. You're looking at this and saying foul play. That's just how I see it. A kid gone, nowhere to be found, foul play instantly. That's just me, right? And we go and you go and find him as much or as quickly as you can. You put in all the passion you can to find this kid, but still, he's nowhere to be found. And he's been gone for more than just one day. He's not eating. He's just out there. God knows where he is. So again, they're doing everything. They're checking the rivers. They're doing all what they've said that they have been doing. They're using everything: dogs, watercrafts, etc., divers, etc. They're using all kinds of people. So again, something ain't right here, y'all. Okay, something really ain't right, and it definitely concerns me. Tony, what's up, man? This is absolutely terrifying. Hope you're well, buddy. I'm very well. Hope you're doing well, Tony. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Busy Mama, thank you so much. Please pull up the pics of the home around the area. They just moved into the rental property. Yeah, I already pulled up the pics of the home. And again, it's just there's just a lot of land. It's a lot of land, but then they're very close to that river. And again, I'm not canceling out the possibility of this kid getting into the river. That is still a very strong possibility. But again, I don't know. It's just something doesn't feel right, y'all. Something just doesn't feel right. Baby mama, a busy mama, baby mama. Woo! Busy mama. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, Busy Mama. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. All right. And just like Busy Mama, please hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. That'd be amazing. Okay. But right now, guys, we don't know everything. It's still a lot of holes. There's still a whole lot of holes. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that there's so many unanswered questions. It's bothering the hell out of me. I don't know if it bothers the hell out of you, but at the same time, I get it. We can't automatically just add and fill in the blanks and make things up just to ease our own minds. What we got to rely on are the facts. And the facts, even though they're like, minimal, okay? Eminem, minimal, okay? Minimal as hell, all right? But that's all we have so far. So I'm hoping that there's more information that comes out here soon, because there are more questions than there are answers. And I don't like that. That doesn't sit well on my heart, y'all. I don't know about you, but it doesn't sit well on my heart. It's been 2 days. Well, they're in their third day. Correction. They're in their third day looking for this young baby, for crying out loud. And they still have nothing. He just up and left, and that's it. I'm sorry. What is it? At the age of 2, they're learning how to, you're trying to potty train them and all that stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, you really think that this kid is out here, just foraging for his own food? I mean, I highly doubt it, right? So again, he might be a big boy. He might be tall, right? That's what the mom said, that he looks like he's bigger, like he's like a 3 or the size 3 or 4. Okay. Which, yeah, that makes him a big kid. But at the same time, that doesn't change anything. He's still a 2-year-old kid. So he's out there all by himself. That's some serious stuff, y'all. That's Amber Alert. That's Amber Alert. Do you understand? That's an Amber Alert. If you ask me, Dagnabbit, that's an Amber Alert, man. So again, Kid is in dire straits. Kid is definitely in a situation where he could be losing his life or be severely injured right now. They don't know where he is. And there are more questions than there are answers. And that's a huge problem to me. Okay. Emily, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. Welcome to the family, whoever just became a member. And all I ask is for you to do something positive with that energy that Emily just gave you. All right. Open the door for somebody, buy somebody a cup of coffee. All right. Call that person you haven't talked to in a while and make them smile. You know what I mean? It just, she's giving you something positive. Just pay it forward. That's all I ask. You know, and passing on some positive energy can be the simplest and easiest thing you can do. All right. It can be so simple. So all I ask is for you to pay it forward if you can. Okay. But again, guys, something's wild. But it could be nothing. It could be an absolute nothing burger, but we'll see what happens here, guys. Again, more questions than there are answers. Hopefully there will be an interview. Like, listen, they have all these news outlets out there, all this media out there covering the hell out of this, right? Where's Dane? Where's Dane, right? Showing up to the prayer vigils and all that stuff. And I get it. The family probably doesn't want to have anything to do with all these cameras all up in their face. But I am kind of curious about if they're actually going to step forward and speak out, because I think the public is going to want to have more answers to the questions that are still looming and sitting right now. And of course, I'm hearing little things about more details about the couple. But at the same time, I want to hear a little bit more before we put out information that's not entirely accurate. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. Right. We'll see. I'm praying for this young kid, this baby's swift return home to his family. But I'm hoping that the police are asking the family the right questions so we can get down to the nitty gritty and find this little boy, Dane, because he needs to get home. He really does need to get home. But anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on this situation, keep an eye on this case. It's still percolating out there. Shout out. Let me just say this too. Shout out to all the people that are putting in the time in searching. Because let me tell you something. It is hard to find people that are willing to put in the time, dedicate, donate their blood, sweat, and tears, their free time to go out there and comb through woods trying to find a child. Real talk. And I don't know what the weather's like up there. It could be cold. It could be hot. It doesn't matter. You're still braving the weather. You're still braving the, nature and all that. So, of course, shout out to all those people. Real talk. Okay. Shout out to all of them that are going out there and doing what they've been doing and what they're going to continue doing. I just say, do not give up on this kid. Okay. Do not give up on finding this kid. Let's get this kid home. Let's hopefully get him in the arms of his family. I could only imagine. Even if it was out of sight for 2 seconds, still that was 2 seconds too long. And I can only imagine what the family's going through right now. Real talk. This is a terrifying thing for any parent. So I'm praying for his quick return. He needs to come home. All right. But that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Means a lot. Thank you so much. We'll be talking here soon. I might be on a little bit in a couple hours, depending. We're looking some things up and getting some things popping. All right. So please do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Crush it. Do what it do. All right. Support this channel if you can by hitting that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. Become a subscriber, part of the family over here. Go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed over there too, because there's a lot of things I'm talking about over there and I'm not talking about over here, and vice versa. So make sure you're showing some love and subscribe. Make sure those notification bells are set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. A lot of times it's breaking news stuff, okay? So subscribe, hit that notification bell, Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out PascalMerch.com. Let's not forget to do that. Check it out. We got some really great stuff over there. Okay, guys? But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Trust me, if there's more updates, we will be talking about it. I guarantee you. All right? But it's time to get going. Stay blessed out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.